Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
Live from our Denver studios, it's America's Voice Live with Tudor Dixon and Steve Gruber. America's Voice Live.
Welcome to America's Voice Live on this Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. I'm Tudor Dixon here with Steve Gruber, and we have a lot to cover after last night's fiery debate, don't we, Steve?
We sure do, Tudor. In fact, it looked more like a big-time wrestling match, although big-time wrestling might have more entertainment value. I'm not sure it moved the needle at all last night. Both sides are today claiming victory, of course, but it may have been America that lost. We will dig deeper.
Yep, and James Comey is back on Capitol Hill today. Well, at least he's there virtually for his testimony on what some are calling the biggest scandal in U.S. history. Last night, a letter was made public revealing Hillary Clinton's campaign falsified documents to smear Donald Trump. The same documents used in the Russia investigation. We'll take a deep dive into that story.
And now we're getting more reports of mail-in ballot fraud, this time in Texas. A Joe Biden operative has been named in a fraud scheme that involves stealing absentee ballots from nursing homes and forging voter signatures.
Okay, let's take a deep dive into our top story. In case you missed it last night, last night's debate was filled with name-calling, diversions, and plenty of fireworks. Here's an example of the heated back and forth.
Your party doesn't say it. Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
Socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not
Democratic
according to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of.
If you were watching, the president's strategy seemed to be taking advantage of Biden's fractured party. Take a look at this clip on socialized medicine. Here it is.
Senator, I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
would you answer that
because
question?
the question is the question is
Justice,
the
radical
question,
left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
right,
Gentlemen, I think
this
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the
unprecedented.
court.
We have
I'm not going to give a list.
That was them talking about his list of the Supreme Court, and Joe Biden would not answer that. But a lot of left-wing media folks are coming out today and saying that he shouldn't actually even debate again. Look what Morning Joe had to say in this tweet. He says, "This is a disgrace, a low point in American debate history. There is no reason, not one, that Joe Biden should participate in another debate." And other blue check marks also weighed in on that. We have Jose Antonio Vargas saying no more debates, no more debates, no more debates, over and over and over again. Emma Gray says cancel the rest of the presidential debates. We have Melissa Harris Perry saying yes, cancel them. The debates are now a danger to public safety and a direct threat to black life. Cancel the debates. Steve, a direct threat to black life. It's an interesting take.
You know, I don't know how you get a blue check exactly because I don't care that much. But it's funny to see black check people who I've never heard of. I have no idea who these people are, but they're apparently self-important blue checks out there across the Twitterverse. The fact of the matter is it was a street brawl. The problem being is that Chris Wallace lost control of that debate early on, and he never got it back. Chris Wallace getting very low marks across the board, right, left, and center today. The reason is because it looked at times like Donald Trump was debating both Chris Wallace and Joe Biden. The criticism I would make to the president is simply this. Joe Biden had plenty of opportunities to wander off into the weeds, which he has a propensity to do, but the president never let that happen. Every time Joe Biden started to wander off, the president would interrupt, and that looked kind of rude, I'd say, and mean-spirited. Joe Biden at the same time called him a clown, a liar, the worst president ever, a racist, and told him to shut up, as we heard there. So both sides come to an ineffectual draw, I believe. Again, I'm not sure this moved the needle for anyone. For those that think that Donald Trump is a fighter and a brawler, they loved it. For those that thought Joe Biden was going to survive and maybe beat expectations, they're happy with what they saw. And today, Joe Biden's on a whistle-stop tour across Ohio, headed towards Pennsylvania. We'll see if that moves the needle. But right now, I think we're looking toward the vice presidential debate next week. And then the next presidential debate, which will be October the 15th in Miami, and then October the 22nd in Nashville. They're talking about there not being another debate, Tudor. I can assure you the debates will move forward because, well, that's on the schedule. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, investigations into Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, revelations coming out of evidence developed from Russia in the summer of 2016 that Hillary Clinton had personally approved a plan to concoct the Russia collusion narrative in an effort to distract from her own email problems on the campaign trail in that summer of 2016. In documents made public Tuesday by the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, U.S. officials became so concerned by the Clinton campaign's conduct that they referred the matter to the FBI for investigation well before the election and before the Bureau pursued the concocted story. Read that as hoax, is what the president has said many times, as grounds for getting FISA warrants targeting the Trump campaign and specifically Carter Page. James Comey was on the stand today. We'll get to some of his testimony about these questions from Chuck Grassley and others. But in typical Hillary Clinton fashion, even though it appears here that she may have played a key role in creating this whole Russian narrative, she brushed it off just last night. Listen in.
It is a sign of such desperation by the Republicans, and it also is a reminder that Donald Trump knows that the Russians helped him win in 2016. And that is almost the biggest reason he wants to, go back to it time and time again, because he can't come to grips with the fact that there will always be an air of illegitimacy around the 2016 campaign.
It must be difficult to realize you can't let it go. It must be difficult to realize you lost an election and you still obsess about it 4 years later. The Russian narrative, the Steele dossier, has all been dispelled, debunked, if you will, and yet Hillary Clinton clings to it. Here's another part of the DNI letter that's extremely important. Not only was Hillary Clinton approving of what was said, approving of the narrative, according to this letter released yesterday and sent to Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, it also indicates that Barack Obama was also briefed on everything that was going on, Tudor. So this is a big report and could get a lot more traction in the days to come.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that this is not something that the Republicans just cooked up. This was a request from Lindsey Graham. The letter starts out with, in response to your request for intelligence community information related to the FBI's Crossfire hurricane investigation, I have declassified the following. It's going to be hard to argue with declassified documents, but something that folks are trying to argue with is how the Minnesota voting program is going, because we now have that report from Project Veritas that says that Minnesota is cheating essentially on their voting. And we have a tweet here from the Minnesota police who have said they are going to investigate this. It says allegations of voter fraud being evaluated. The MPD is aware of the allegations of vote harvesting. We are in the process of looking into the validity of those statements. No further information is available at this time. I will say once again, those allegations are against Ilhan Omar, and she did come out, Steve, and say that she didn't believe that she had any faith in the Minnesota Police Department, that they should be defunded, disbanded. Now you have the city council there in Minnesota saying maybe not such a great idea. Not a great idea at all, in fact. And if we look for more voter fraud revelations,
We could look to Texas now. This is a remarkable story out of Texas involving one of the Joe Biden campaign operatives in Texas, now accused of harvesting as many as 700,000 ballots, at least a scheme set up to do so. Those allegations allegedly caught on video by private investigators, but no ordinary private investigators. One is a retired FBI agent, the other a retired police detective. And so these are the two men that have come forward, and they say they have identified Biden's Texas political director, Dallas Jones, as orchestrating this scheme to harvest 700,000 ballots from dead people, homeless people, nursing home residents, and a whole lot more. So when you are told that there's nothing to be concerned with when it comes to mail-in ballots or voter fraud in 2020, you might want to rethink that, Tudor. You might want to rethink that.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We have a great interview for you up next.
Pain, swelling, stiffness. When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new Copperfit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that fits like a second skin to support relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in to provide a strong, non-slip grip for more power and control.
You need total control of your hands when you're doing anything with construction. Your hands are your livelihood. The Copperfit gloves are great. The grip is outstanding here with these different ribs. It makes my hand a lot more usable. It just feels like you're just ready to start the job.
The gloves have been a game changer for me. They help with flexibility and pain and soreness. They allow me to do my job even better.
Breathable wicking fabric with an open finger design for full range of motion, feel, and control.
They relieve my pain. When I grab something, I'm not in pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It works.
I get a lot of pain, and it can make it difficult to do the smallest thing. While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone, I drive with it, I sleep with it. I love this glove.
The new Copperfit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology. Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-984-5571 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
I tried it, I use it, I know it works.
Copperfit gloves definitely just make my life better.
I've used Copperfit before. This has helped my hands so much. These things work.
Feel better with copper-infused compression. Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
Continuing on now, it's the day after Fight Night in America. Steve Gruber and Tudor Dixon here with you on America's Voice Live, and Tudor, was quite a show. Somebody we know quite well had a front row ringside seat. Pastor Darrell Scott was right there. I saw him in the pregame warm-up, if you will. He joins us now here on America's Voice Live. Pastor Scott, good to have you back.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
So give me an idea. Give us an idea. What was it like being right up front to all of the action last night? It had to be a unique and interesting experience.
It was very interesting. You know, they had us on two separate sides. The Joe Biden camp was on one side, we were on the other, and will say that our side had a lot more enthusiasm and excitement than the Joe Biden side had. It was a very interesting time there to be able to, see it live and in person, and to see the body language head to toe of the candidates. I think President Trump comported himself very, very well on yesterday. I think he did a fantastic job.
And I guess my question to you is simply this is, all right, so Joe Biden was asked specifically about law and order, and the president did well in some places. Now, I think, honestly, Pastor, that the president missed some opportunities. I think he could have let Joe Biden wander off into the weeds a little bit more because when he was pressed on important issues, and here's one of them, when he was pressed on the question of, have you talked to the mayor of Portland, Oregon? Have you talked to the governor of the state of Oregon? Have you been involved with these folks? I mean, riots been going on there for more than 100 days. Here's what Joe Biden had to say in this exchange. Listen to this and we'll get your response.
The question I have, though, is as the Democratic nominee, and earlier tonight you said that you are the Democratic Party right now, have you ever called the Democratic mayor of Portland or the Democratic governor of Oregon and said, hey, you got to stop this, bring in the National Guard, do whatever it takes, but you stop the days and months of violence in Portland?
I don't hold public office now. I am a former vice president. I've made it clear in my public statements that the violence should be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted. And anyone who commits it
But you've never called for the people, the leader, excuse me, sir. You had never called for the leaders in Portland and in Oregon to bring in the National Guard and knock off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Seems like an odd answer. I don't hold public office right now. You're the leader of the Democrat Party, claims Joe Biden last night, and yet he's never decided to pick up the phone to have a conversation with Ted Wheeler, the mayor of Portland, or Kate Brown, the governor of the state of Oregon, to say, hey, we've got to stop this violence in the streets of America. Pastor, what did you make of that?
Well, Joe Biden told on himself right there. First of all, he conveniently assumes leadership positions and then steps away from leadership positions whenever it's beneficial for him. First, he states that he is the leader of the Democratic Party, that he is the face of the Democratic Party. But then when pressed about the mayors, he said, well, I don't hold public office. I don't have the ability to do so. But, the reason he didn't do it initially was because they thought these violent protests would work against President Trump. They only began to denounce them when it began to reflect negatively in the polling for them. But, Chris Wallace actually let him off the hook. And when Donald Trump would try to press him, he was accused of being overly aggressive, or he was interrupted from interrupting Joe Biden, because Joe Biden got away with skirting a number of issues on last night. Joe Biden never answered the question about his opinion of the Black Lives Matter organization. He never answered it. Joe Biden said that basically Antifa is a figment of everyone's imagination. He was able to get away with that one. So I think he was able to skirt a number of issues, and once again, they took it easy on Joe. And as a result, we saw things like we just saw when he copped out regarding whether or not he reached out to the mayor of Portland and Seattle and other places.
Joe Biden is looking for the Hispanic vote. He's looking for Black American vote, but he says he doesn't hold office right now, so he can't get involved in these things. A lot of people would say he may not hold office now, but he holds public influence, and he could easily reach out to those folks. When pressed on whether or not any law enforcement groups support him, this is what he had to say.
True.
He doesn't have any law support.
Look,
he has no law enforcement support.
That's not true.
Almost nothing.
Look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead. Think. We have time.
We don't have time to do anything.
No, think
all right.
Name one law enforcement group that came out and supported you.
Gentlemen, I think I'm...
We have just about a minute left, but you would hear, if you listen to the mainstream media, you would think that having no law enforcement support you would be good in the Hispanic and the Black communities. But what does that really mean to those communities, Pastor Scott?
Well, when they talk about defunding police, they're not talking about defunding suburbs. They're not talking about defunding affluent areas. They're talking about defunding inner cities and the areas that have the highest crime rate. They're trying to portray the Black community and the Latino as some lawless conglomerate that we don't like police, that we all blacks hate police and Latinos hate police because we're a bunch of thugs and criminals, and that is not the truth at all. In fact, the areas that have the most crime need the most policing. I would think that increased police presence and increased police funding would be something that the black community would desire. We simply want responsible policing. We don't want no policing. We want responsible policing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And once again, the reason Joe couldn't name any police support is because Joe was anti-police early on when they thought these riots and this chaos would work against Donald Trump. But when it began to backfire, they flip-flopped, as Joe does. He flip-flops all the time. He's flip-flop Joe.
Pastor Darrell Scott, greatly appreciate you being here as always on America's Voice Live. You know, Tudor, one thing I wanted to mention, because he's right about this. A Telemundo poll right after the debate showed Trump got 66% of the people from the Hispanic community believe that he won. That's kind of telling, isn't it?
Absolutely. Very interesting, and it's exactly what this president is looking for. So in his opinion, I believe he thinks he won the debate last night. That's up for debate. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting? Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain, and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like Copperfit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up. A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with Copperfit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
Copperfit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
Copperfit, live limitless.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Nick.
Act now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-284-4127 or go to flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-284-4127 or order online at flipupglasses.com.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is holding hearings on Capitol Hill today to determine the origins of the Russia investigation. That is where they are questioning James Comey. This is after a letter came in from the Director of Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, to Lindsey Graham stating that Hillary Clinton actually is the reason this started. In fact, it says Hillary Clinton's approval of a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections as a means of distracting the public from her private email server. That is pretty serious accusations out there, and this is what the president had to say about it.
And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it, too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
Steve, he's right. It does say that President Obama was briefed on this, which would lead you to believe that Joe Biden was also involved.
You would think they're all involved in this conversation. At least it appears that way, especially that now notorious January 5th, 2017 meeting in the Oval Office where the plan was hatched to continue the investigation, to continue to meddle with President Trump when he took office 15 days later. We know that James Comey, according to his own testimony today, that he was held back in the Oval Office by then President Barack Obama to talk about what was going to happen. Today he's testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. He is being led there by Lindsey Graham and others. And the questions are tough and the answers are making me wonder what's really going on. Let's hear this from James Comey about being held back by Barack Obama. Here it is.
Did you ever speak with President Obama or Vice President Biden about any aspect of the Flynn case? If so, what did you discuss?
I remember the Flynn investigation coming up once. I think it was January the 5th when President Obama held me back to urge me to do the case in the normal way and to let him know if there was any reason that he should not be sharing sensitive information about Russia with the Trump transition. I assured him that I would keep him informed and I would conduct the investigation in that way.
Now, bear in mind what we have been told now is that Hillary Clinton on the 26th of July 2016 signed off on this idea of creating a distraction, stirring the pot, if you will, Tudor, to make sure that Russia became the focus of the investigation of the Trump campaign for the hack of the DNC servers. They knew it wasn't true, and yet they pursued it anyway, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Lindsey Graham is not going to let this go. He pressed hard on James Comey today as well. Here it is.
Let's just end with this. You get this inquiry from the Intelligence Committee to look at the Clinton campaign, basically trying to create a distraction, accusing Trump of being a Russian agent or a Russian stooge or whatever to distract from her email server problems. And how far-fetched is that, Mr. Comey, when we now know that the Democratic Party, through Fusion GPS, hired Christopher Steele, a foreign agent who had a very strong bias against Trump, who hired a Russian subsource who the FBI believed to be a Russian spy to compile a dossier that was a bunch of crap to be used against an American citizen working for the Trump campaign. You already knew that. Seems to me you'd want to investigate other allegations, but you're telling me that you don't recall this.
That was a common theme throughout the hearings this morning, Steve, was that he just couldn't remember any of this. Lindsey Graham was making the point that he was really shocked that the most important investigation of his life, he couldn't remember any of it.
Some of it just failed him today, Tudor. It was remarkable. By the way, those hearings are back underway now. James Comey back in the hot seat in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. The questions are not getting any easier, and the answers more perplexing. You're watching America's Voice Live. We'll be back in a moment.
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro Touch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard.
and keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. You've got to go Solo. Call 1-800-709-9777 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
Windshields are impossible to clean, and a dirty windshield can be downright dangerous. Introducing the Hurricane Windshield Wizard, the one tool that reaches and cleans for you. It uses the power of microfiber with a pivoting head to make cleaning windshields quick and easy. The specially designed ergonomic handle fills with tap water and dispenses at the touch of a button, so you can clean in seconds without straining. And it folds away for space-saving storage. Order now and get the Hurricane Windshield Wizard with free extra bonnet for just $19.99. But order now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can also get the Battle Visor, the visor that blocks the harsh glaring sun and keeps you safe on the road. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship everything to you for free. That means you can get all this and free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-474-7530 or visit getwindshieldwizard.com. So call 1-800-474-7530 now.
Tudor, we have been hearing stories of doom and gloom and the blame being laid at the feet of global climate change disruption warming, or whatever they call it today, that being the fires in California and elsewhere, all the fault of, well, you and me and our next guest, Ben Bergquam. He's to blame as well because he's a human being and he's alive on the planet. Of course, the fires in California are not even historical by the size. If you go back to the 30s, you'll find much bigger fires. And Ben, you and I and Tudor have been talking about this on the program for quite some time. It came up during the debate last night, and that is forest management being a key component of what happens. And when it breaks down, it can create colossal fires like we've seen in California the last couple of years. I want you to hear what the president had to say about it, then we'll talk about it. Here's President Trump.
Very exciting.
Do you believe that human pollution, greenhouse gas emissions contributes to the global warming of this planet?
I think a lot of things do, but I think to an extent, yes. But I also think we have to do better management of our forests. Every year, I get the call, California's burning. California's burning. If that was cleaned, if you had forest management, good forest management, you wouldn't be getting those calls. You know, in Europe, they live their forest cities. They're called forest cities. They maintain their forests. They manage their forests. I was with the head of a major country. It's a forest city. He said, sir, we have trees that are far more, they ignite much easier than California. There shouldn't be that problem. I spoke with the governor about it. I'm getting along very well with the governor. But I said, you know, at some point, you can't every year have hundreds of thousands of acres of land just burned to the ground. That's burning down because of a lack of management.
Sir,
Now, Ben, I get the impression the president's been watching America's Voice Live because that's a conversation we've had several times with you. What do you think about what the president said?
No, he's absolutely right. If Chris Wallace wouldn't have interrupted him like he did countless times, what a wildfire of a debate, then he could have got to the final point that I think he was going to make, that if we weren't burning down these trees, we wouldn't be having as nearly the amount of carbon emissions that we're having. In fact, every acre of trees that are burned is 2 vehicles taken off the road. So that means 8 million vehicles taken off the road. If the 4 million acres hadn't burned in California this year, these same people that are screaming about climate change are allowing our country to burn down, both in our forests and in our cities. And so it's beyond hypocritical. President Trump is exactly right. Getting out of Paris Climate Accords, reducing these insane radical environmental standards is the right thing to do. They don't do anything to actually help the environment. If you want to actually help the environment, you talk to the people that actually know about their communities, about nature, and actually care about it, the people that actually live in them. But Democrats, the radical environmentalists, don't seem to care about that. They just want to push the agenda.
Well, actually, the president talked a lot about those radical Democrats and what they want to do, especially the Green New Deal. At one point, Joe Biden gets a little confused as to whether or not he supports the Green New Deal. But this is what he had to say about that. I want you to listen and respond.
Green New Deal will pay for itself as we move forward. We're not going to build plants that, in fact, are great polluting plants.
So do you
We're going to
support
build
the Green New Deal?
Pardon me?
You support?
No, I don't support the Green New Deal.
You don't? Oh, well, that's a big statement.
I support
that means you
the
just
bottom.
lost the radical left.
Well, there's something to be said about the Green New Deal here, because if you go to Joe Biden's website, you'll see quite clearly this is what it says about the Green New Deal. Biden believes the Green New Deal is a crucial framework for meeting the climate challenges we face. Seems like he wants it both ways, Ben.
Yeah, he does. And I don't know if anyone's talked to AOC and got her A-OK that Joe Biden is the Democratic Party. But he absolutely does support the Green New Deal. He just can't be honest about it. He flip-flopped back and forth last night. He said he didn't support it, and then he started espousing all the good things about it and how it wasn't going to bankrupt this country. It absolutely would bankrupt this country. It's just like the windmills that are up in the mountains out of Tehachapi that have to be subsidized in order to stay running. Yes, they create jobs, but you know what? They cost far more than they produce. And that's the bottom line. Oh, sure, we'll create all these jobs, but when you create jobs that cost more to create than the energy that you're producing, you're not creating anything. You're destroying the economy. And that's what the Democrat Green New Deal will do.
Thank you, Ben Berkwam. We will see if AOC responds. So far today, I haven't heard anything. But I want to head out to our Denver studios, to our own Jessica Rivera, because she has an update on the debate as well. Jessica?
Thank you, Tudor. After last night's presidential debates, there were and are plenty of fact checkers to pick from about last night's COVID-19 topic, so I settled on Yahoo's. Yahoo says in last night's debate, President Trump told Biden if he was president, he wouldn't have 200,000 deaths from COVID-19. Rather, it would be 2 million. And Yahoo says that the president said Biden would have left the country wide open. Yahoo claims the fact is President Trump's claim is audacious and a false accusation because Biden never came out against the president's decision to restrict travel from China. Yahoo goes on to say that Biden was slow to support the president's restrictions, but he eventually did. Well, the truth is, President Trump suspended and restricted travel from China into the U.S. on January 31st. On February 28th, Biden said coronavirus was nothing to panic about.
But I want to take a moment to say it's not a time to panic about coronavirus.
And on March 12th, Biden called President Trump xenophobic for his handling of the virus up until that point.
The World Health Organization now has officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Downplaying it, being overly dismissive, or spreading misinformation is only going to hurt us and further advantage the spread of the disease. But neither should we panic or fall back on xenophobia. Labeling COVID-19 a foreign virus does not displace accountability for the misjudgments that have been taken thus far by the Trump administration.
And as far as Biden ever supporting President Trump's China restrictions, there was nothing I could find other than we know they had an undisclosed meeting around the beginning of April to talk about the pandemic. Yahoo goes on to claim that the president did not ban travel from China, but he restricted it. And that is due to President Trump still allowing travel in from Hong Kong and Macau, which is true. But Yahoo and other fact checkers failed to mention the inflow of travel from those two areas were deemed manageable with screenings. The inflow from mainland China was not, and mainland China is where the virus came from. And as far as the 27,000 Americans who returned from mainland China, the president does not have the authority to deny any American citizen re-entry into America. One legal expert from the Brennan Center for Justice, Harsha Banduranga, even says, quote, inherent in the core conception of citizenship is the absolute right to re-enter the borders of the country, end quote. Tudor and Steve, back to you.
Thank you,
Totally
Jessica. And
confusing
Steve,
to
one
me.
of the things that we're not hearing about is what would Joe Biden have done differently? We've asked that question over and over again. We don't seem to get that, but we do see what Democrat-led cities and states have done, and those were major shutdowns. One of those is now being blamed for 28,000 people being laid off from Disney. The company is saying they didn't have to lay off anybody in Florida, Paris, Shanghai, Japan, or Hong Kong, but California and their capacity limits and closures has hurt the park beyond repair.
I guess those bracelets mean something different now. You know, the ones that say WWJD. What would Joe do? Nobody's quite sure. What would Joe do? I think we should get the bracelets back out and say, what would Joe do? It's weird because 6 weeks after flights had been stopped from China, he says we shouldn't be xenophobic. We shouldn't be doing these things. 6 weeks later, that's exactly what the president was talking about. The fact checkers from Yahoo are wrong. Back in a moment on America's Voice Live.
If you suffer from foot pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, even lower back pain, if just standing causes aches, soreness, and fatigue, the problem could be your feet. When your feet are out of alignment, your entire body is out of alignment and you're in pain. Now you can change all of that. Today, introducing Superthotics, the doctor-designed breakthrough that solves the problem in your feet and relieves the pain throughout your entire body. It begins with the cushioned BioLock heel cup that holds your heel and ankle in perfect alignment. Next, metatarsal and longitudinal arch supports distribute the pressure of your body weight evenly across the entire foot. Plus, these customizable inserts, which correct the angle at which your foot hits the ground, relieving your pain with every step you take. Imagine being able to dance, walk, work, play golf, or just spend an afternoon shopping without the aches, pains, stiffness, and poor balance that rob you of your active life.
As a flight attendant, I spend a lot of time on my feet. The moment I put the Superthotics in, I could feel a huge difference. The pain in my knees went away, the pain in my feet went away. Not only am I wearing them for work, I am wearing them all the time.
Imagine finally getting relief from painful problems like bunions, shin splints, corns, calluses, plantar fasciitis, and even stress fractures. Doctor-prescribed orthotics can cost $600 to $800, but you won't pay anywhere near that for Superthotics when you call the number on your screen or go to superthotics.com. For a limited time, you'll get the manufacturer's direct price of just $39.95. Call now, and we'll also include, at no extra cost, our soothing peppermint lotion to help invigorate your feet. You will also get our luxurious comfort slippers designed with durable memory foam. You receive it all. Superthotics are not available in any store. Call or go to superthotics.com now.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Nick.
Act now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-284-4127 or go to flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-284-4127 or order online at flipupglasses.com.
One of the common questions we've heard about this election is, what will mothers do? That is the vote that everybody wants, but nobody seems to understand exactly how to get it, but that's why I want to bring in Kimberly Fletcher. She is the president and founder of Moms for America, and she obviously knows what moms want. Kimberly, welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me. I definitely know what moms want. I am a mom.
Good. I am a mom too, so it'll be a good conversation. But first, I want to ask you, what were your major takeaways from that fiery debate last night?
Did you say inspiring or fiery?
Fiery.
It wasn't inspiring. There were a couple of things. First of all, the very first thing I thought was I took debate classes in school, and I don't think that the media understands what a moderator means, because that's not what a moderator does. A moderator doesn't do grandstanding and big long diatribes and then throws in a question at the end. They ask a question and they allow the candidates to debate. That's not what happened last night. So that was my first takeaway. Second was, what I saw was the moderator also debating the president, and I thought he was extremely disrespectful to both candidates and treating them like they were children. That is completely inappropriate, and his job is to moderate, to allow the conversation to take place. But the other thing I saw was President Trump not tolerating any of it. And I hear all the time moms say, well, I just don't like his personality. And I'm like, well, okay, if the barbarians are at the gate and they're at the gate, who do you want guarding the gate? A fighter or a Trojan horse who's going to open up the gate and let the barbarians in? So we really need to start looking at what it is that he's doing and appreciate the fact that he's a fighter instead of rolling over and opening the door and saying, come on in.
Right, and I think that's a lot of people pushed back on the president's demeanor last night, saying that wasn't acceptable. But these are two very different men. So how do moms look at these two different ideologies and say which one they want to vote for?
So the ideology and the personalities are two totally different things. When moms look at, first of all, let's be honest, the majority of American people were not watching the debate because they don't care. They're not about politics. They're about, I want to get my job done. I want to pay for my house. We're about taking care of our families. So the only people that are really watching are people like us, the media, the people who are activists and focused on it. The moms, they aren't watching, but the media is. And what the media does is they'll now take all of those segments where the moderator was saying, you're not behaving, and President Trump jumping in and interrupting, and moms are going to look at that and go, oh, that's just not nice. Because we teach our children not to do that. You're respectful, you don't interrupt, you're not rude. But when you talk about ideologies, and every time the president had an open door to talk about his position on values and principles that we care about, the ideology that we want to hear about, the quote moderator shut him down. And we're moving on. No, I wanted to hear what he had to say. So on the ideology, if moms know what they stand for, then President Trump wins every time. Because he's the one who wants to open schools. He's the one that wants to open our businesses. He's the one that wants to make sure law and order is restored. Joe Biden wants to close down the business and allow protests to continue. And no matter how he color coats it and paints it, that's the bottom line. And moms want their kids and their families to be safe. We want to be able to pay for our house payments. We want our husbands to have jobs. We want to have jobs. And President Trump's ideology, his principles and values that he's promoting, that is what he stands for.
Yeah, he talked a lot about law and order last night. You're right. He tried to push on that hard. He has pushed on that hard this last year. And we know that moms are focused on safety and protection. So tell us, we have a couple minutes left. Tell us, what is Moms Vote 2020?
Mom Vote 2020 is actually putting the ideology in the hands of the mothers. What we've realized in the 15 years working with moms across the country is the vast majority of conservative women of faith aren't voting. And most of them aren't registered to vote. And that's the reason why politics is happening and why we keep losing our country and our family values. And so what we have done is created a platform to make it so simple for moms to be able to vote their values with confidence. You just go to momvote.us and you will be able to find out how to register to to vote, where to register to vote. You can do it right online, where you go vote. And then you can even find out just by plugging in your zip code, because we partnered with iVoter Guide. You plug in your zip code and you will see what's on your ballot, who the candidates are and where they stand on the issues that matter to you. Moms, we've missed you at the polls, and we need to hear your voice now more than ever. Please, your vote is your voice for your values.
So if you have moms voting their values, how many moms does it take to actually change the outcome?
That's the most exciting thing. If only 1% of those moms who aren't voting get registered and vote their values, we'll literally see a shockwave across this country as conservative, constitutional, pro-life candidates are elected at all levels of government. And wouldn't that be something pretty amazing to be a part of, ladies? So let's get out there and vote and be that 1%, because I'm ready to see a shockwave.
Absolutely. I think that that's what a lot of people are saying. They are ready to see that. But we have really quickly, I want you to sum this up in about 30 seconds, but we have a lot of people saying that this is affecting women. The president will take away their health care. What's your response to women who are afraid of that?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about health care. Women's health care is obviously important. So are our children and our families. President's not trying to take our health care away. He's actually trying to make it more accessible and less expensive. And I'm 100% for that, and what mom wouldn't be?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kimberly Fletcher, Moms for America. We appreciate having you on. It's so important to hear that mother's voice. It's something that we don't get to hear that often. It seems like it's out in the clouds. How do you get that mom vote? Well, if you need to know, you go to Moms for America, because Kimberly Fletcher knows everything there is about moms. Stay tuned. You're watching America's Voice Live.
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro Touch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. You've got to go solo. Call 1-800-709-9777 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
Last night, Steve, the president was pushing hard to get policy plans out of Joe Biden, especially when it came to the Supreme Court. He asked again for Joe Biden's list. Joe Biden was asked by the moderator, will he pack the court? He refused once again to answer that question, saying again that if he did answer that question, it would change the narrative. But it's something that, as the president pointed out, the American people would like to know if the Supreme Court is going to be completely changed if this president is elected. It is a big point. It is definitely a big voting point. But Kamala Harris was also asked why Joe Biden won't answer that. This is what she had to say.
Senator, you talked about the former vice president looking right into the camera, but his answer on court packing, adding more justices to the court, just sounds like a straight up dodge. Why won't he talk about what he wants to do, what he thinks should happen?
Well, I think he's very clear, John, which is that he is focused, as we all should be, on the next 35 days. And he is focused on, one, the process by which we're even having the conversation about the United States Supreme Court. We all just honored, and I was there while the great Ruth Bader Ginsburg was lying in state, the first woman ever. And now we see that the president and the Senate Majority Leader are pushing through a nominee while Americans are voting.
Steve, another total dodge. So why will they not answer
Straight
this
up.
question?
The answer to your question, Tudor, is quite obvious. If the answer were no, they would simply say no. The fact of the matter is, packing the court is something they are considering because they want to nullify whatever Donald Trump has done here. Because let's be honest, what has happened with Donald Trump getting 3 nominees to the court, and he will get the remarkable ACB confirmed. That will happen late in October. That's going to happen, and that will mean that he has put in 3 Supreme Court justices in less than 4 years. It's almost unheard of. It hasn't happened many times in American history, and so they can't say no because the only way they can get the court back, which is their technique to get things done that they would not normally get done, which is by activist judges, they have to pack the court. So otherwise they would say no in my estimation. Meanwhile, I was surprised at one of the polling numbers I saw this morning when I got up, and that is from C-SPAN. A couple of 100,000 votes had been cast at that time, and according to C-SPAN viewers, which I would consider to be most likely left of center viewers, maybe I'm mistaken, Trump was given the nod by 62% plus of those that watched the debate as being the winner. Joe Biden just 25%. And during the coverage last night, Isaac called in, a longtime, lifelong Democrat who said, I've seen enough. I'm going with Donald Trump. Listen to this.
Isaac, Allentown, Pennsylvania, on our Support President Trump line. Please go ahead, Isaac.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. And I just want to say I'm an African-American male, and I voted Democrat all my life. I came from the projects. I had to work hard. And to me, like I said, I supported the Democrats. But as I got older, I got wiser. And I realized the Democrat is not really for the people. They are for themselves. And the reason why I like Trump, where I come from, Brooklyn, I'd rather somebody say to me, hey, Isaac, I don't like you because of this and that, where you have somebody like Biden, they smile in your face and they stab you in your back, deceiving and lying to the American people. You know, yeah, Trump, his mouth can be, you know, out there, but I see where he's coming from. Like with China and these other countries, like they are against us and they want us to fall. And Trump is really stepping up and putting pressure on them, you know, protecting the American people.
2 things that should concern Democrats this morning, regardless of what the mainstream media and the networks say. 2 things should concern Democrats. Number 1, the Telemundo poll from last night. 66% of those asked said Donald Trump won. And Isaac and people like Isaac out there pushing up African-American numbers and support for President Trump into the 15 to 16% range. That would change everything, Tudor. If that happened, that would be the election. That would be the ball game.
This is why you heard the vice president saying that the president is racist last night. That is something they continually try to push. Obviously, callers like Isaac say no. Stay tuned.
Tired
Tired of struggling with regular mirrors that don't adjust so you can't get close enough? Need both hands but you don't have a stand? Can't move in the right direction to see your own reflection? You need Flexible Mirror, the bendable, light-up magnification mirror that comes to you. Watch. Just stick it on and turn the base. The super suction locking mechanism means you can put it on any smooth surfaced place, horizontal or vertical. Lock it onto any mirror, table, or desk. Use it in the shower, even on a window. The secret is Flexible Mirror's super strong articulating arm that's attached with an ingenious ball and socket so it can swivel and rotate for the perfect angle. And look how strong it holds. The mirror is precision crafted with 10 times magnification and crystal clear optics. And with a soft glow LED ring, you'll get picture perfect lighting to highlight every detail. Flexible Mirror makes shaving, applying makeup, hairstyling, grooming, and accessorizing easier than ever before. Plus, men, listen up. The 10 times magnification makes it perfect for giving your beard a detailed trim. Whatever you need to do, Flexible Mirror comes to you. Plus, the contemporary chrome accents add a lovely modern touch to any room. Stop struggling to put in your delicate contacts and let Flexible Mirror come to you, so it's much easier to do. Similar mirrors can cost as much as $100, and they don't even come to you. But you can get Flexible Mirror for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. We guarantee you'll love the Flexible Mirror so much that it comes with our 90-day no questions asked money-back guarantee. And here's the best part. We give you free shipping on your entire order. That's right, free shipping. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-987-6183. That's 1-800-987-6183 or order online at tryflexiblemirror.com.
Windshields are impossible to clean, and a dirty windshield can be downright dangerous. Introducing the Hurricane Windshield Wizard, the one tool that reaches and cleans for you. It uses the power of microfiber with a pivoting head to make cleaning windshields quick and easy. The specially designed ergonomic handle fills with tap water and dispenses at the touch of a button, so you can clean in seconds without straining, and it folds away for space-saving storage. Order now and get the Hurricane Windshield Wizard with free extra bonnet for just $19.99. But order now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can also get the Battle Visor, the visor that blocks the harsh glaring sun and keeps you safe on the road. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship everything to you for free. That means you can get all this and free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-474-7530 or visit getwindshieldwizard.com. So call 1-800-474-7530 now.
This is America's Voice Live, the second hour on this Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. I'm Tudor Dixon here with Steve Gruber, and we have lots to cover after last night's fiery debate, don't we, Steve?
We certainly do. You know, last night's debate reminded me more of the old celebrity death match, the claymation thing you would see on Saturday Night Live. Not really a presidential debate. I'm not sure anybody got moved last night as far as voters go. I don't know if the needle moved. But both sides claiming victory today, as you would expect. But it may have been America that lost, according to many. We'll dig deeper.
And James Comey is back on Capitol Hill today. Well, at least he's virtually on Capitol Hill for his testimony on what some are calling the biggest scandal in U.S. history. Last night, a letter was made public revealing Hillary Clinton's campaign falsified documents to smear Donald Trump. The same documents used in the Russia investigation. We'll take a deep dive into that story.
And another day, another story of voter fraud, manipulation, and cheating coming from the Democrats. This one fairly shocking, Tudor, because it comes from Texas, where a Joe Biden operative has been named in a fraud scheme that involves stealing absentee ballots. Hundreds of thousands of absentee ballots from nursing homes and forging voter signatures.
Let's dive into our top story, because in case you missed it, last night's debate was filled with name-calling, diversions, and plenty of fireworks. Here's an example of that heated back and forth.
Your party doesn't say it. Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
Socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. what I approved of.
Steve, he is the Democratic Party when it fits him, it seems.
Well, it does, and we'll get to this later, but at one point he says, I don't support the Green New Deal. Yet if you look at his website, Joe Biden certainly does support the Green New Deal. Now, he was not pinned down on that. One thing he has not been pinned down on, that or his running mate, is whether or not, if they win the White House and they have control of the United States Senate, will they have a scheme to pack the United States Supreme Court in an effort to nullify what appears to be a right-leaning court going forward for the next few years. This, of course, the result of Donald Trump getting 3 picks to the high court. Joe Biden will not answer the question, not from Chris Wallace, and not when peppered by the president himself.
Senator, I'm not going to answer the question.
Why would you answer that
because
question?
the question is the question is
Justice,
the
radical
question,
left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so,
list?
right.
Gentlemen, I think
this
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the court.
We have
not going to give a list.
Not going to give a list. In fact, he won't say anything about a list of who his Supreme Court nominees would be. He won't say whether or not Democrats have a plan to pack the United States Supreme Court that hasn't been tried since 1937 when Franklin Roosevelt tried that scheme, and it was crushed by his own party. Back then, though, that party still liked America. I think things have changed a bit, Tudor.
Well, Kamala Harris came out today and said that he handled it with poise and grace, and I don't necessarily think "shut up, man" is poise and grace, but other people may disagree. Actually, Morning Joe said he thinks that he shouldn't debate at all. He said, "This is a disgrace, a low point in American debate history. There is no reason, not one, that Joe Biden should participate in another debate." And other blue check marks came out in droves to defend Joe Biden and say, "No more debates." Here is Jose Antonio Vargas. No more debates, over and over and over again. We also have another tweet from Melissa Harris Perry. She says, "Yes, cancel them. The debates are now a danger to public safety and a threat to black life. Cancel the debates." And McGray came out and said, "Cancel the rest of the presidential debates. No need to continue legitimizing Nazism, white supremacy, violence, and lies." Steve, white supremacy was a big topic in last night's debate, and that's all the mainstream media is talking about today.
I did some research not that long ago. The Southern Poverty Law Center, the leading far-left organization that smears other organizations by calling them hate groups and so forth. In the entire United States, there are less than 8,000 members of the Ku Klux Klan. We are a country of 330 million people. I don't think the Ku Klux Klan is exactly a first threat for us at this point. I just thought I'd throw that out. Tidbits, nuggets for you to have. Meanwhile, other big news today. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton named in a new report from DNI, John Radcliffe, that's the Director of National Intelligence, sending a letter to Lindsey Graham, the U.S. Senator from South Carolina who heads up the Judiciary Committee, who, by the way, has James Comey in the hot seat, even as we speak. But a letter sent to Senator Graham outlines some very disturbing bits of information that we need to share with you, including in late July 2016, U.S. intelligence agencies obtained insight into Russian intelligence analysis alleging that U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton had approved a campaign plan to stir up a scandal against Donald Trump. This happened. She approved the plan according to the letter, according to the information, according to the investigative notes. She did that on July the 26th, 2016. Furthermore, what we've learned today from James Comey is that he shared that information on January the 5th, 2017 with President Barack Obama. There may have been other occasions, but in his testimony today, he said he shared that with Barack Obama. The point being is, the more information that comes out, the more it appears that it was a set play by the previous administration to oust the current president. But Hillary Clinton continues to laugh it off. Here she is yesterday on MSNBC. Listen to Hillary.
It is a sign of such desperation by the Republicans, and it also is a reminder that Donald Trump knows that the Russians helped him win in 2016. And that is almost the biggest reason he wants to, go back to it time and time again, because he can't come to grips with the fact that there will always be an air of illegitimacy around the 2016 campaign.
Well, what's remarkable is the person that can't seem to come to grips with the 2016 campaign is Hillary Clinton. I mean, she has been on book tours. The Bitter book tour should have been called. The Bitter Cross America book tour. And you've seen the pictures, her and the former President Bill Clinton sitting there. He looks with a look on his face like he's thrilled to be there. But Hillary Clinton out there bashing once again, which looks like credible evidence. 26 July 2016, she signed off on a plan, a scheme to discredit Donald Trump and link him and his campaign to the hacking of DNC emails. Tudor, this isn't going anywhere. Don't be surprised if Attorney General Bill Barr weighs in on this at some point. Don't be surprised if John Durham weighs in on this. I don't think they're particularly concerned by the fact that we're just 41 days away, or what are we, 34 days away, from the presidential election. They're concerned with finding out what went on and who was involved.
Absolutely, and that's why you are going to see these hearings on Capitol Hill get very nasty, because they are going to push back on who knew what and when. Now, of course, Hillary is saying that this is all a setup, which is also what I'm sure we're going to hear when it comes to voter fraud. We keep hearing the president will not make a peaceful transition, but he's going to question everything that's going on, because as you can see, this is coming out what happened in 2016, what will happen in 2020. This is America's Voice Live. We'll be right back.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like Copperfit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up.
A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with Copperfit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
Copperfit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
Copperfit, live limitless.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
You know, we were talking in the break, and really, Tudor, it is remarkable how Hillary Clinton just can't let go of that loss in 2016. I mean, she must wake up every single day and just go, I can't believe it. But as you saw, she waves it off, she laughs it off, she tries to say that, you know, there's still this Russia connection that's been debunked too many times, remember. But she does come up. The one criticism she has of the president is that he continues to come back to her and make comments about her. He does it at rallies, and he did it again last night. I think it's a fair criticism because he does it. Here's what he said.
And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it, too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
I think that was one of the best lines from the president during the debate last night when there wasn't bickering and talking over and interruptions. And I say that because he does have them. There is a lot of evidence now piling up. James Comey is not doing himself any favors right now in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I can assure you of that. And so when the Democrats keep talking about, well, if Donald Trump doesn't leave the White House, we'll bring in the military, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll ensure a peaceful transition, well, you have to ask yourself as an American voter, was Donald Trump afforded the opportunity for a peaceful transition himself? And the answer appears to be louder and more clear every day that no, he wasn't. Not as a candidate, not his transition team, and not since he's taken the oath of office to be the 45th president of the United States. He's been allowed the peaceful transition of power. His nominations have been blocked. He has been dogged by the Russia collusion stories. Then it was the impeachment nonsense, the Mueller report, and the list goes on, Tudor. It's not been a peaceful transition from day one, and he has still persevered in so many different areas.
But Steve, I have to say, earlier you said that Hillary Clinton has not gotten over this loss. She still believes that she won. Well, if this letter is correct, she believes she won because she thinks that she had this Steele dossier set up and it was reliable and it was going to get her elected to President of the United States. Well, Senator Chuck Grassley is questioning James Comey today. And this is what he had to say about that dossier.
On January 12th, 2017, email to James Clapper, you stated that, quote, we have concluded that the source Crown is reliable. On January the 12th, 2017, the FBI received a report outlining inaccuracies related to Steele's reporting about Michael Cohen. The report also assessed that the information was part of a Russian disinformation campaign. That same day, you signed a FISA renewal. The FBI received another report on February 27, 2017, that also stated parts of the dossier were false and subject to Russian disinformation. You signed another FISA renewal on April 5th, 2017. Steele is clearly not a reliable source. Why did you say otherwise, and why did you approve the FISA application in light of the evidence?
What I said about Mr. Steele that you read at the beginning of your preamble was what I believed based on what I had been told. And the rest of the reports you've listed, I don't remember learning about them or being told about them. So I can't comment on whether they're accurate or not.
He doesn't remember, Steve. He said that over and over again. But if you read that letter, he was clearly told that he was not a reliable source.
A remarkable comment, Tudor. You're a mom. Your kids come in, they're busted, and they say, Mom, I don't remember. Is that even going to fly with children in your household? The answer is absolutely not. And Lindsey Graham lays it out and hammers James Comey with, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened, and you just don't remember? Listen to this one.
Let's just end with this. You get this inquiry from the Intelligence Committee to look at the Clinton campaign, basically trying to create a distraction, accusing Trump of being a Russian agent or a Russian stooge or whatever to distract from her email server problems. And how far-fetched is that, Mr. Comey, when we now know that the Democratic Party, through Fusion GPS, hired Christopher Steele, a foreign agent who had a very strong bias against Trump, who hired a Russian subsource who the FBI believed to be a Russian spy to compile a dossier that was a bunch of crap to be used against an American citizen working for the Trump campaign. You already knew that. Seems to me you'd want to investigate other allegations, but you're telling me that you don't recall this.
Remarkably, he just doesn't recall that. Must have been one of the days that the world's tallest Boy Scout was out earning a merit badge on something else, Tudor. He's the world's tallest Boy Scout. Ask him. He'll tell you how great he is.
Well, he'll also tell you his conversations with President Obama, something that we might be very interested in when it comes to this election. Take a listen.
Did you ever speak with President Obama or Vice President Biden about any aspect of the Flynn case? If so, what did you discuss?
I remember the Flynn investigation coming up once. I think it was January the 5th, when President Obama held me back to urge me to do the case in the normal way and to let him know if there was any reason that he should not be sharing sensitive information about Russia with the Trump transition. I assured him that I would keep him informed and I would conduct the investigation in that way.
They knew it all.
Shocking testimony. We'll hear more.
Yep.
Uh-oh, there you go. Slow slicing fruits, veggies, and those stinky onions that bring you to tears. But not anymore. Introducing NutriChopper, the compact handheld speed slicer that cuts up to 10 times quicker than a knife. Watch. You can have one slice or 10 perfect slices at once. Amazing! You can just julienne, or you can bundle slice julienne sticks at lightning speed. With NutriChopper, you can slice the entire onion or mince a mound of onions and never have time for tears. Why slice a single apple wedge when you can wedge it all in one snap? NutriChopper comes with the razor-sharp interchangeable stainless steel blades you need to make all of the cuts you want, and all incredibly quick. Chop thick slices, chop thin slices, chop cubes, chop sticks, and wedge whole fruits and vegetables in just 1 second. Slice it and cook it right in the pan, right on your stove. Chop and slice right into the pot for a family-sized stew with no mess. Snap and slice a fruit salad for the kids right into the bowl in seconds. Slice up a healthy salad for a quick and easy meal on the go. Cube meats and cheeses quick, in a snap. And NutriChopper comes with a perfect portion container and fresh keeping lid so you can slice it, seal it, and store it all in one. To clean, simply rinse or rack it in the dishwasher. Then lock it to store it safely in a drawer. And now the NutriChopper with the thin slice, thick slice, wedge, and cube blades, and the slice and store container and lid, a value of over $40, is yours for just $19.99. But wait! Order now and we'll even pay the shipping for you. You get the complete NutriChopper set with blades and container with lids, all for just $19.99 with free shipping. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-927-4071 or go online at NutriChopper.com. That's 1-800-927-4071 or go to NutriChopper.com. Order now.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Nick.
Act now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-284-4127 or go to flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-284-4127 or order online at flipupglasses.com.
Well, a bit of breaking news this hour as the Commission on Presidential Debate says debate number 2 to be held in Miami coming up on October the 15th will be a bit different. Apparently last night's pro wrestling match masquerading as a presidential debate, they decided there need to be some changes. They said this in part, the CPD will be carefully considering the changes that it will adopt and will announce those measures shortly to give additional structure, adding to the format. So look for the next debate to be a bit different. One of the big topics last night, of course, was the Supreme Court. Joe Biden's refusal to say whether he would pack the court. And Donald Trump saying he has every constitutional right to make the nomination that he did. From Just the News with more, here's Carrie Sheffield.
Hey there, thanks, Tudor. Yes, the update on the Supreme Court, it's shaping up to be a contentious sparring. Looking forward to October 12th. That is when the Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to begin its hearing into Amy Coney Barrett. Now, this issue of the Supreme Court was the very first question that was thrown to the candidates at the debate last night. The president said, he noted, I was elected for a term of 4 years, not for a term of 3 years, and thus I have every right to name my nominee. The president also went on to say that if the shoe were on the other foot, that if Democrats held both the White House and also the Senate, that they would not hesitate at all to do the same thing. Now, Joe Biden, in response, what he said was that millions and untold millions of people have already cast their votes in the mail because of early voting due to COVID, and therefore there needed to be a pause, and we should wait until after the election to deal with this SCOTUS nomination. Of course, Republicans say this is not going to happen. And again, watch for that Senate hearing that's going to bring in Amy Coney Barrett. The key figure on this is Lindsey Graham. He's the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and he is full steam ahead on this. I want to read to you also a statement from Senator Mike Lee, who is also a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And he said that he was excited. He hosted yesterday on Capitol Hill. Amy Coney Barrett was on Capitol Hill. Senator Mike Lee hosted her, and he says, I was remarkably impressed by Judge Barrett. My meeting with her was fantastic. She is a judge, a legal scholar, and a lawyer with outstanding credentials. We had a great conversation, and I am very much looking forward to speaking with her more during her confirmation hearing. So there you have positive support here from senators on the Republican side in support of Amy Coney Barrett. Again, this will be a very contentious situation. Joe Biden in the debate also last night said he has nothing personal against Amy Coney Barrett. He said she seems like a very qualified, a very good person. But again, he says this has to do with the politics of it, that he thinks that there should be a pause and that the nomination should wait and the confirmation process should wait until after the election. Of course, Senator Lindsey Graham has had a legendary conversion toward President Trump, in part because of what happened with Brett Kavanaugh. That was the second pick that the Supreme Court, that President Trump put on the Supreme Court. And Lindsey Graham was key in helping getting Kavanaugh over the finish line. He said that he was very incensed by the way that Judge Kavanaugh was treated by Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and that really refined his support and made him very stalwart in making sure that he wants to see this nominee seated, this now third nominee. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said that he wants to make sure this happens also. He obviously is the one who keeps the trains running on time on the broad floor vote. So again, expect to see Senator Lindsey Graham making the Judiciary Committee push this forward on time, and Mitch McConnell as well. We will keep you posted. Make sure to go to justthenews.com for these and other stories.
Steve, she pointed out Justice Kavanaugh and what he went through. Now, we have not seen that so far with Amy Coney Barrett. There have been some attacks, certainly not to the degree that happened with Kavanaugh. You've pointed out that that didn't work so well for Democrats in the 2018 election. Perhaps that's why they are not attacking so hard. But I want to point out something else. What the president said last night was that he is elected for 4 years, not 3. But he also pointed out that those were the words of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, not himself.
Correct. Also very correct. And you're right. He is there for 4 years, not 3.5, not 3 3/4. And he did what the Constitution dictates. That's nominate a replacement for the vacant seat on the United States Supreme Court. We'll be right back right here on America's Voice Live.
Pain, swelling, stiffness. When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new Copperfit compression gloves with sure grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that fits like a second skin to support relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in to provide a strong, non-slip grip for more power and control.
You need total control of your hands when you're doing anything with construction. Your hands are your livelihood. The Copperfit gloves are great. The grip is outstanding here with these different ribs. It makes my hand a lot more usable. It just feels like you're just ready to start the job.
The gloves have been a game changer for me. They help with flexibility and pain and soreness. They allow me to do my job even better.
Breathable wicking fabric with an open finger design for full range of motion, feel, and control.
They relieve my pain. When I grab something, I'm not in pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It works.
I get a lot of pain, and it can make it difficult to do the smallest thing. While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone, I drive with it, I sleep with it. I love this glove.
The new Copperfit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology. Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-984-5571 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
I tried it, I use it, I know it works.
Copperfit gloves definitely just make my life better.
I've used Copperfit before. This has helped my hands so much. These things work.
Feel better with copper-infused compression. Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
Windshields are impossible to clean, and a dirty windshield can be downright dangerous. Introducing the Hurricane Windshield Wizard, the one tool that reaches and cleans for you. It uses the power of microfiber with a pivoting head to make cleaning windshields quick and easy. The specially designed ergonomic handle fills with tap water and dispenses at the touch of a button, so you can clean in seconds without straining. And it folds away for space-saving storage. Order now and get the Hurricane Windshield Wizard with free extra bonnet for just $19.99. But order now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can also get the Battle Visor, the visor that blocks the harsh glaring sun and keeps you safe on the road. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship everything to you for free. That means you can get all this and free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-474-7530 or visit getwindshieldwizard.com. So call 1-800-474-7530 now.
Last night, our own Amanda Head had a late night in our D.C. studios covering the debate, but she is back today. We want to head out to her now. Amanda?
Thank you, Tudor. Yes, late night last night. I feel like everyone has a little bit of a political hangover, but that's okay because we're all in the same boat, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. I feel like that's one thing that we're all unified on today. But I want to bring in my guest, Charles Moran, Managing Director of Log Cabin Republicans. Now, for those of you who have watched the network for a long time, you know my history and my relationship with Log Cabin Republicans. I'm on the board for the Log Cabin chapter. It is a monumentally important organization, especially this year. So, Charles, I'll let you take the floor and just kind of, I know what Log Cabin is, but give a brief description and talk about why it's so important in 2020 for there to be that relationship.
Right. Thank you so much for having me on, Amanda. Log Cabin Republicans is the nation's oldest and largest organization of LGBT conservatives, Republicans, and our allies. working to promote inclusion in the Republican Party, but also diversity of thought in the LGBT community. We've been around for over 45 years, really got started around that time when then Governor Ronald Reagan in California was fighting the Briggs Initiative, to now an organization that has over 51 chapters in 33 states, a headquarters here in Washington, D.C. But our core is really our chapters. And this year we have such an amazing opportunity to re-elect somebody like Donald Trump, who's been a friend of our community, who's been a friend of the LGBT community, and also for promoting a different way of thinking in the Republican Party about bringing in different minorities, different groups to really help support and grow that big tent.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. For people who maybe live in smaller towns across America, they are not familiar with Log Cabin. They're not familiar. Some of them may not even think they know any gay conservatives. But I have always had such warmth and respect for the group, because it takes so much courage. And a lot of our friends in Log Cabin have talked about how it was harder to come out as conservative in the gay community than it was to come out gay to family and friends. Right. And we are seeing, that might sound like a platitude maybe 5 years ago, but now when you are seeing people who actually getting expelled from their communities, getting fired from their jobs, it's amazing to see. So for people who don't know what President Trump has done for the gay community, give us kind of a rundown, boom, 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 of some of those things.
Well, on the campaign side, and Donald Trump is the man, he was the first president ever elected to office to support marriage equality from day one. So we've got a first there. President Trump, as a philanthropist, was writing six-figure checks to the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation back in the 90s, before it was popular to support HIV/AIDS charity and research. When he was turning Mar-a-Lago from a private club, or from a private residence into a private club back then in West Palm Beach, clubs didn't allow blacks, gays, and Jews to join. And President Trump, if you could afford to, join the club, made that club open and available to all people without those types of restrictions. And then even during the GOP debates when he was running for really the first time as a serious candidate for president, when people like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio were having fights over transgender bathroom issues and whatnot, Donald Trump said, Caitlyn Jenner can use whatever bathroom she wants in any of my building, really shutting down that debate and dispensing with that kind of division and moving forward with something practical that most conservatives can really get their heads around. So that leads us up to him being president. Now, him getting elected president of the United States to where we are now, he's had two very solid initiatives that have really impacted the LGBT community. The first one domestically, which is ending the spread of HIV/AIDS in 10 years. This is something that is absolutely achievable. President Trump, back in his days, in Studio 54, being in New York, he saw the death wave that moved through the community that just took away so much talent in the 80s because of HIV/AIDS, and he has a very personal connection to that cause. On the foreign side, he has been the first president to talk publicly and directed his administration to push a policy to end the spread of the criminalization of homosexuality internationally. Right now, it's illegal to be gay in 69 countries across the planet, including 9 of those countries where you can be put to death just for being who you are. President Trump went to the United Nations and called on the world community to end the criminalization of homosexuality. Those are the two big solid issues. There's been other things like appointing amazing people like Rick Grinnell, our friend, to the first ever presidential cabinet position, breaking that barrier, another first for the president. And then other things like starting to remove the ban on gay men giving blood, something that, especially during a pandemic, antiquated policies and bureaucracy that President Trump is doing away with. So there is a platform and a portfolio, and it's so exciting for people like us, instead of having to apologize, for Republican candidates who were running and try to explain away their records. We actually have a candidate whose record we can hold up to the community and say, look, you have a Republican now, and there is a seat at the table for us and for this community. So we are working to help invite and enroll people who are just not on board with the crazy left-wing politics that are going on. And we saw that on the clown car show that was. Now, we actually have a candidate say, look, President Trump has opened the door for you to join us, and we're providing a vehicle for people to get engaged with the campaign, to get involved with a broader conservative movement, with a group of people who think like them and have their shared values.
Right. I love the message and love I love that there is a ground game now. I mean, it's about time that our party, catches up to this idea. So we've only got a few minutes left. Specifically, so for the Outspoken campaign, that's a part of Log Cabin Republicans. You guys have people basically all over the country who are going into communities and talking to people. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we saw so much of what came out of the unrest over the last couple of months, and especially during the Democratic primary, was people's voices that may have been different or were diverse, not the political groupthink that we see on the gay left. People getting silenced, their voices being completely cut off and diminished. And if you didn't agree with them, you didn't have even the right to even have that thought. So what we're encouraging people to do is get outspoken. And we've created our national digital campaign this year around that very theme, creating really cutting edge videos, doing serious media buys, and providing through the wonderful technology of social media the opportunity for people to lend their voice, giving them the talking points and the tools and the memes and the graphics to be able to create their own content and share that amongst their community, and letting them know that there is a huge national audience of people just like them who want to be able to amplify their voice. And that's what we're doing with the campaign. It's not about putting me on TV more. It's about finding ways to amplify the voices of the common everyday LGBT conservative or ally, to let them know that they're not alone and to give them the opportunity to get outspoken in this critical election year.
And it's so important because I feel like so many people in that community, the fact that they can't speak out about their political beliefs, something that maybe they felt like all along, but it's definitely reached a fever pitch of persecution in their community. So I applaud you. Congratulations on y'all's involvement with the Trump campaign and getting the word out there. Charles Moran, Log Cabin Republicans Managing Director, and Tudor, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Thank you, Amanda. And it was very interesting to hear what Charles had to say, because you actually heard a lot of what Donald Trump's platform has been for the LGBTQ community. This is something that we didn't get to hear much in the debates last night. A lot of folks criticized the fact that we didn't get to hear platforms on either side last night, but we did hear from Joe Biden that he is a racist. He is not for equal rights. He's not for human rights. This is something that you're just now hearing from Charles is definitely not true. This president has come out and fought for gay rights, not only in this country, but in other countries, and gone to bat at the UN for gay rights as well, to make sure that these people are safe no matter what country they're in. It's not something you're hearing on every network, but you are hearing it here on Real America's Voice. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
I'm Nick Bolton, and these days...
Hey there.
Hey there. It seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses.
Good morning.
Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These new glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Nick.
Act now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-284-4127 or go to flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-284-4127 or order online at flipupglasses.com.
A bit of breaking news at this moment coming out from Los Angeles County, California. A suspect has been arrested now in the shooting of those two Los Angeles County deputies recently. You remember the shooting, the attempted execution of a 31-year-old mother of a 6-year-old boy. She was a deputy. The 24-year-old man, the other deputy in the car with her, shot grievously. And despite her injuries, she was able to tend to him until other officers arrived on the scene to make sure they survived. They were taken to the hospital. Both have now been released. But Deontay Lee Murray, arrested in the case, 36 years old. We'll be finding out more about that in the days to come. I shift my attention now to my next guest, Phil Klein, former Attorney General and Director of the Armistead Project of the Thomas More Society. Phil, welcome back to the program.
Great to be with you.
It's a very busy day for you. You spend your time defending democracy against those that would undermine it, those that would cheat, use mail-in ballots or other fraudulent methods to put their thumb on the scale. But today, a very big series of developments because you're involved with 4 battleground states being sued, those states being Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, to prevent Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook from channeling millions of dollars into the campaign between now and November the 3rd, and also hoping that Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook will keep their thumb off the scale on the social media aspect of it when trying to influence voters. Where do you want to start?
Well, it's very concerning that there's an effort to try to privatize elections. It's important that the government manage elections in a fair way for all voters. And what we see right now is that with Zuckerberg money, local election officials are targeting areas to turn out the vote and make it easy to vote for Hillary Clinton voters to turn out for Biden, while at the same time, blue state governors are making it harder for rural citizens in their states, which typically trend Republican, to vote in person. So what we've got is $250 million provided by Mark Zuckerberg and his wife to a charity that's then giving them to areas that are Democrat strongholds. And they're using those monies.
Phil, I'm confused.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm confused because the narrative, the popular narrative, is that it's Republicans that are always trying to suppress the vote. It's Republicans that are trying to keep people from voting every day by having such crazy ideas as having a picture ID to vote to make sure that the right person is voting in the right place and is doing so legally. And yet here you are telling me that Mark Zuckerberg and the Democrats are actually the one trying to suppress voting.
Well, these governors, through their orders and shutting down in-person polling, and I know if you look at all the polls, they show that Republicans prefer to vote in person, Democrats prefer to vote by mail. So they're making it harder to vote in person, while in Democrat counties where Hillary Clinton won over 75% of the vote, they are actually hiring people. The government playing favorites in the election, hiring people to go out and pick up ballots. So in red jurisdictions, it's harder to vote. In blue jurisdictions, my gosh, you could vote once, probably twice, the way they're handling these drop boxes as well as mobile pickups of ballots. And this is wrong.
Sure.
It's like stuffing money in the umpire's pocket before the game begins. The government.
Well, that's exactly right. And it's unusual to me again, Phil, because here we go with Democrats who say nothing should be privatize. Privatizing is a terrible thing to do, unless, of course, it's the elections and they can get some power out of the deal and suddenly their tune is completely changed. So this election, there are literally hundreds of lawyers deployed by both Republicans and Democrats around this country. That's part of the push for the Supreme Court to be fully seated with 9 justices, because it could come down to decisions in the Supreme Court. Lawsuits have already been filed. You've got states that are going to arguing about Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and others saying, well, we can count votes for days, weeks after the election is over. It's not the way the system is supposed to work. There's going to be a lot of legal problems, and that's probably the reason that Hillary Clinton told Joe Biden, do not for any reason give in on Election Day.
Well, they made a mess, and they knew they were making it a mess. There's an Inspector General's report on the post office on on-time delivery that was issued in 2019 that covered the Obama years, and it found that the post office only met on-time delivery 13% of the time over 5 years. So for the Democrats to suddenly say this is an effort to prevent mail-in ballots is a lie. What is happening right now, our governors are forcing the election into uncharted waters without the systems to be able to manage the election appropriately. And what people have to understand with absentee ballots, here's the concern. It's not that we're against absentee ballots. It's that when the ballot leaves the hand and is not cast with government officials around it, we can't monitor to make sure there's not coercion, there's not misleading, or people aren't being forced away. And
I've only got about 40 seconds here, Phil, but I want to get this in. I've only got about 40 seconds, but this is important to me. It should be greatly concerning to the Democrats that 84,000 ballots were disqualified in New York 12 for the primary, the Democrat primary. That's 21% of the votes cast. And if Republicans vote in person and Democrats rely on a system that's only 13% on time and 21% of the ballots were kicked out, aren't the Democrats setting themselves up for failure? You've got 15 seconds for the last word.
Well, real quickly, they're setting us up for a mess. And what they're doing is they're suspending state laws that protect ballot integrity to make sure ballots are counted no matter if there's a problem with the identity of the voter. And that should be a concern to all Americans.
I could not agree more, Phil Klein. Thank you for being here, former Attorney General, Director of the Armistead Project of the Thomas More Society. These are things you need to be aware of. So I encourage you, if you have the opportunity and the time, go volunteer, be a poll watcher, get involved in your local election. You know, put your eyes on it. Who do you trust more than yourself? Think about that. Quick break. We'll be back right here on America's Voice Live.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction. Then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at bygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
Steve, we have a really fascinating story to go over for two reasons, because this is so unbelievable, but also something that so many women go through that we don't really talk about, and this would be an extreme case. But this particular woman, she had been severely abused by her husband, ultimately went missing for 2 years, and then was discovered alive at sea, which is a really very shocking place for you to find someone. Some fishermen found her. We actually have some video of her being rescued. She was pulled out of the sea by these fishermen. There she is. She's a 46-year-old Angelica Gatan. And the reason she was in the sea, actually, Steve, life had gotten so bad with her abusive husband that she had run away. So her daughters were missing her for 2 years. She had gone from shelter to shelter and finally decided to just end her life by going into the sea. God said, no, it's not your time. These men found her. They pulled her out. But the reason I think this is so key right now, this is something the president brought up last night in the debate, Steve, was that being shut down from COVID-19 has so much impact on mental health and abuse. We don't know about the people who are getting abused and children. You can see from this, obviously, abuse is such a severe situation to be in that this woman was willing to end her life. It's just another reason these lockdowns are not good news, Steve.
Not here and not anywhere else. You know, those fishermen thought it was a piece of driftwood. Then they got closer. They thought, well, she must be dead. Then they saw her move and wave one arm, but she really couldn't do much else. She was bobbing around in the ocean. Apparently, God does have bigger plans for her, because that was not the end of that ride. They fished her out. They were talking to her in Spanish and English. They couldn't get her to communicate. You know, there are certain things you can say, that's a miracle, because to me, that's a miracle. Meanwhile, in other news, the president, this did not come up last night. I think it might just happen today. President Trump receiving his third Nobel Peace Prize nomination of 2020. This coming from a group of Australian law professors who say the Trump doctrine is that he has decided he would no longer have America involved in endless wars which achieved nothing but the killing of thousands of young Americans and enormous debt imposed upon America. That from Australian legal scholar David Flint. He told that to Sky News Australia. He's reducing America's tendency to get involved in any and every war. And isn't that the truth? The president promised, if elected, he would stop us from being entangled in these endless wars. And whether or not people in this country recognize it, people around the world are recognizing it, plus the work done with the Middle East peace plans and Kosovo and so forth in the European theater, all of these different places. The president being recognized for his efforts at keeping America strong but peaceful. And I think it's important, Tudor, that people recognize this.
Absolutely. And one of the things that the president said last night is that he's done more in 47 months than Joe Biden has done in 47 years. And this David Flint said he is really producing peace in the world in a way in which none of his predecessors did. And he fully deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Very interesting that you have that just after this debate. But yes, this is the third nomination. And something else that I think is just fascinating. We've talked about jet suits. We have a story about a jet suit a few weeks ago, flying almost into a plane in California. Well, here is a fascinating story. This man in the jet suit decided they could take paramedics to places they normally would not be able to reach quickly. You see him out there in the mountains.
I've got to have one. I've got to have one of those. I mean, I look at that and I just get all bleary-eyed. I want to hear, Iron Man played from AC/DC, and I want to put that thing on and pretend that I'm a superhero. Dude, that thing looks like the greatest toy ever invented. Just had to say that.
No, I agree. I mean, when we were little, everybody wanted the hoverboard. They wanted the jet suit. But this is it's not just a toy. I want you to take this seriously. This is a paramedic who is going up to get hikers off the mountain, which is really ingenious because they said, how can we do this? How can we get to these people faster? It can save a life. This is 3 minutes as compared to an hour. So very, very, very cool. I just love it. And I hope we get to see those in the United States. And yes, I would love to have one. Stay tuned because the National Pulse is coming up next. You don't want to miss it.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it